In this video, I'm going to be talking about my favorite key to play in standard tuning with fingerstyle guitar. So I did a live stream about this recently and people seem to enjoy it, so I thought I'd do a video about it as well. I just want to kind of talk about it and maybe you get some inspiration when watching this video. So the key is G major, and I'm not talking about the key as such, I'm more talking about the fingering. And what I mean by the fingering is the way your fingers are positioned when you're playing in a certain key. Because when I'm playing in the G, the key of G, my kind of fingers are in that shape, in that sort of G shape, you know. But the good thing about finger picking is you don't have to play every string, like when you're strumming, you know. So I can just pick out the notes or the strings that I want to play and just play them instead, you know. Most of the time, I'm only playing like 3, 2, maybe 4 strings at any one time. So that's really handy. And also with this one, there's lots of open strings, which is really nice about this key and this chord. When you play a G chord, you know, you can play it like that, but you can actually, if you pick it, you can just play it with the one finger on the 3rd fret on the 6th string, and then you can just play these open strings, the B, the G, and the D, as well at the same time. So it would sound like this. You know, and that's also a G chord as well. I also love to use a capo a lot as well, so I like to use this fingering, the G fingering with a capo at different frets. So, you know, even though I'm not playing in G if I'm playing with a capo, but my mind kind of tells me that I'm playing in G major. Does that make sense? So the first thing to do, I would say, is just familiarize yourself with the notes in the scale of G major. And I always say you don't have to necessarily know the names of the notes, you know. We can all kind of hear how a scale sounds. Another reason I like to use this key is because there's lots of bass notes that are available. So for example, I might go G, F sharp, B, and then C. Another great thing is that there's lots of notes that are easily accessible no matter what finger I'm using for the bass notes. So if I'm using the 2nd finger, the 1st finger, my 3rd finger, so I can still access lots of different notes in the key no matter what finger I'm using for the bass line. This is great for beginners because it just means that you can easily create simple melodies that also sound great. There's something about the G and the G chord, that kind of position, that just sits really nicely and naturally with the fingers, you know? It's also really nice for composing. I can easily come up with really beautiful and simple melodies. First, I would come up with a really simple bass line. Let's stick with this G, F sharp, B, and then C. And then I would stick in some of these open string filler notes in there, and then I would maybe compose a melody over the top using the 1st and 2nd strings. I'd also do exactly the same thing if I was improvising as well, because improvising is just composing quickly. Let me know how you get on in the comments down below. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again in the next video very soon.